Hi guys, it's Thursday night, which means it's time for a new Strange New Worlds first reaction. And Tonight we have the Elysian Kingdom, episode 8. Wowzers! So welcome back, guys. Let's see what's going on in the land of the YouTubes. Here, who's here? Chime in, hit that like button, do all the things. You know the routine. If you're watching this after the fact, you're not catching it live, there's a super thanks button down there. Hit that. It's like a super chat, only I wouldn't say it's better because you can't engage with me in real time, but you can still show your love for the channel. And for me, because y'all know you love me. At least I hope you do. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry I've let you down. This episode was quite interesting on multiple levels, and we're going to talk about it. All hail Captain King Foley. Well, thank you, Richie. Wow. Or Rich. Sorry, not Richie. Rich Klein. Hey, Multi-Gunman. How's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. What am I doing here? Oopsie. Will be and just to let you guys know, I'll be having a drink with every super chat. I thought this episode was fantastic. La'an was looking fine. Yeah, I definitely appreciate La'an a lot more now. She's got a nice set of lungs on her, I gotta say. And by that I mean she can sing. We heard her sing a song of mourning. If you thought anything else, you're evil. And we all know that Uhura has a good set of lungs on her as well, just because we heard her humming, I guess, in one of the other first episodes. So, Trekyards, to be honest, this episode felt a bit stupid, but the ending was good. Okay, you're just like my buddy Keith, who said, well, looks like we got a real stinker of an episode this time. We didn't. We didn't, just for the record. It was great. Ending be damned. The ending was great as well. However, what's wrong with you? Pike was phenomenal in this. They all were. They were all great in this episode. Hammer was fantastic. So you're absolutely wrong saying that it's not a good episode till the end. That being said, I've seen it 3 times now, and each time I see it, the ending hits me harder and maybe made me well up a little bit. Just saying. Having a daughter of my own, it was such a sad ending and yet not, you know? So there's a lot of good stuff in this episode. And I'm sorry if you don't think that. I feel bad for you, and I'm wondering what your life is missing. Too bad they didn't give Chapel a bigger part. Yeah, I agree with that. She looked really nice. I liked her hair down with the curls. Although I generally dislike fantasy episodes, so it's probably only me. It's not only you. Like I said, my buddy Keith said the same thing. He messaged our group chat of friends, and he's like, well, looks like we've got a real stinker here. And I'm like, no, it's actually pretty great. Well, I just started it, so, I'm like, oh, well, you haven't seen it all yet, so don't judge it till the end. That's a rookie mistake, my dude. Yeah, John McWhat, I kind of agree. The first 35 minutes were some of the best. I could see this as an episode of the 3rd season of TOS, not saying it was bad because it was great, There were good episodes from season 3. Season 3 had some fantastic episodes. I hate when people say all the, there's no good episodes in season 3. That's just bullshit. The Stanley, shouldn't Spock have been able to block the nebula's hold like Hemmer did? Well, he's not fully Vulcan, nor is he. He's a younger Spock at this point, so not necessarily. No, Hemmer's been trained to use his telepathic abilities to survive in the world around him, considering he's blind. So no. And if Spock was aware of it or conscious of it when it happened, then possibly he could try. But no, I have no problem with that. Olivia says, I thought it solved the doctor's daughter's illness a little too fast. What? Now he doesn't have anything to worry about. He's not breaking any protocols by having her in the transporter buffer. She's healed, and not only is she healed, but she's immortal now. That's what I meant that by the ending being sad and as well as happy. You've given your daughter an immortal life, essentially, and that's fucking great. But to see that your little girl get enveloped in this, little thing, it tickles daddy, and she gives you a hug and stuff goodbye, and then she's just gone, and you think you're never going to see her. Then you see her grown up. As a father, that really hits me in the feels, man. Like seeing your little girl like not grow up but still be grown up. That's just funky, man. Don't know how else to say it. Mount can do wimpy very well. It's true. I felt some of I'm Not a Merry Man from Hemmer this episode. Yes, that's true. Yes, John, I got the same feeling that the Enar are generally stronger telepaths than Vulcans. Orville was sick. Orville was good, but we'll talk about that tomorrow night. Stuart, do you think that Andrea or Deborah will be seen again in an episode later on? Yes, very likely. BJ says, to boobs. Cheers. What doctor responds to a medical call to the bridge without a tricorder? You're not wrong. BJ Toronto's in $1, so no comment, but I am drinking for every super chat, and I'm having some Red Stripe beer tonight, so. Jamaican the crazy beer. Should I watch Orville or this first? That's a very good question. I watched this first, then Orville. Orville, I had shell shock in Orville because I figured they were going to, I'm not going to say anything, but I figured it was going to drag on and be like a season 3 of Picard thing, but it wasn't, thank God. So, I would say, I can't tell you. One's kind of lighthearted and funny and then very poignant, and the other one is very go, go, go on the edge of your seat. So you decide. Orville is the go, go, go on the edge of your seat if you're interested. This is lining up to be one of the best seasons of Star Trek series. Well, Rich, I'm glad you said one of the best and not the best. Everybody's like, this is the best first season of Trek ever. Really? No, it's not. TOS is. Sorry. TOS is what got the series, the show Star Trek started, and there's some fantastic episodes in season 1 of Star Trek TOS. So, but I'm glad you said one of the best. Yes, I will agree with that. I think I saw something where La'an's dog was the actress's real dog. Yes, it was her dog. And notice it was licking her chest at one point, and I'm like, oh, to be the dog. Anyway, Puggins, if I'm ever on Star Trek and I need a dog, I'm going to bring you. Total Random Reviews, member for 24 months at the rank of captain. Good to see you, sir. Mr. Plaidman, I need you to join us for gaming. I want to play some Bridge Crew with you, god damn it. Anyway, he says, I'm a father of three girls, 5, 7, and 15, and this got me in the feels for sure. It even made me tear up a bit. Not even original Trek has done that to me. I am right there with you. I don't tear up during shows generally. Like I said, I watched this 3 times, and the first time didn't really faze me. Second time, a little bit. Third time, quite a bit. So when you think about all the aspects of what would be going through Mbanga's mind, that's a pretty rough day, honestly. Fleet's Paw throws in $2. I don't think I've teared up for Trek in a while. Cheers, my friend. Oh, and Mark throws in $5. Pike running away, and Hammer is like, really? Mbanga and Pike had some of the best reactions to things in this episode. I like when Lon did her little song, and he's like, great. He was just so blasé about the whole situation. He knew the story so well, so he didn't have to really worry too much. And it was cool when it kind of did that twist where it wasn't following the story anymore. But yeah, Pike's reactions to everything was fantastic. Pike did a fantastic job. It's all about Chapel. Well, Chapel did look fine, I will say that. That being said, they didn't give her the ample nacelle treatment, and didn't really get an opportunity to see, how good her lungs were, because she didn't sing. Box Top Dollar. This is the only episode I didn't like, but this isn't the first time. I've heard several people were emotionally moved. Good episode for Hemmer. You didn't like it? Oh my god. So that's 3 of you now. That's you, my buddy Keith, and Trek or Not. So sorry to hear that. I thought it was fucking great. It was so fun. Ortegas was great in this episode. Stranger Worlds has so many great actors, characters. There is no one in the show who I don't like or care about. Exactly. Olivia says, oh my king, shall I be better to assist you better by being... Oh my king, shall I be better to assist you better by being in the castle? I kind of wish the daughter was with Mbanga for the whole episode. I kind of do too, at least half the episode instead of just being at the very end there. But yes. This scenario for Doctor's daughter reminded me of the TNG episode, can't remember the title, when Riker in his simulation with his fake son. That would be Future Imperfect. And no, I didn't get any Future Imperfect vibes off this. So I don't even know if I can really say I know what you're talking about in regards to the comparisons, but if that's what you thought, I mean, that's cool. The interplay between Pike and Ortegas was great. Yeah, where she like steps up to him and he's like, ah. There was a ton of Ortegas acting out of character in this episode, but I'm still waiting for an episode focused on her. So glad we got a big dose of Hemmer again. Ortegas acting out of character. I thought she was completely in character. And by the way, the character that she became in the story is a guy. If you look at the picture from the book of what Sir, whatever the hell his name was, I can't remember now, it is a guy. So, do we always see Chapel's tattoos like that on her wrists? On her wrist? We did in the last episode. I don't know about always. I'd have to go back and watch, but yeah, seeing the tattoos is a little out of place, I think, but I actually like this one quite a bit more than the last few, but the ending was hard to accept. I think it was all a dream where she died and she disassociated. Nah, I don't think so. Mark, I don't see how anyone couldn't like it. When I saw that Benny Russell was the writer of the storybook, it made me like it even more. Ah, yes, Benny Russell from DS9. What was the name of that episode? Oh, Beyond the Farthest Star. Yes. Yes. Fleet Paw Swiftback, $2. The Magic of Science. Yes. Yes, that was great. This whole routine of doing the What are you doing? It's fun. And even there's even an I like science line from Ortega's where it's like, I like this science. Hashtag Spock from Discovery. I like science. It was fun. I thought this episode was great, though I sort of saw the ending coming. I did not until the end, and then it's like, oh yeah, Hammer's gonna probably step in. Ah, there it is. But I didn't expect to see the daughter come back as an older version. I think it's a divisive episode in respect to those who like it more hard sci-fi as opposed to soft sci-fi. This episode was more on the soft end and a tad more fantastical. Sure. Soft end. I mean, that happens when you get older, and Star Trek's what? 50s. How old is Star Trek now? 56, 57 years old? Peter Lukaku, $10. Here's money. That's how you do a Star Trek episode. Thank you very much, Peter. And yes, one of the more lighthearted holodeck episodes without being a holodeck. But yeah. I found this one a bit campy, but I like the Doctor's storyline. Eric, it's supposed to be campy. That's the point. Eric. Eric, I love you. But sometimes you disappoint me. That's okay. Abracadabra. Not saying it's bad, it's great, but personally not keen on fantasy-esque episodes. Sorry you feel that way. Magic of science, better than power of math. Eric Martin Lawn looks good with her hair down and chest out, lol. Yes to both. I have much better appreciation for Lawn moving forward now. And I gotta say, I don't know how Uhura fits into her regular uniforms on the show. That just blew me away. I was like, what the hell? That being said, she reminded me of the Ice Princess or the Ice Queen from Narnia. Hammer was great. I wish he kept his memory with the doc, something for them to bond together. I agree with that as well. Fleetpaw, it's hilarious how the sword was just about as large as Ortega's. Quite comical, made me laugh. Yeah, Starfall was the name of the sword. It's a stupid name for a sword. You're stupid. Don't look, it'll blind you, says the blind character. Ryan K. says, they were all pretty good in my opinion. Standouts for me were Pike and Hemmer, I think his name is. And I found Singh fairly funny too. It reminded me a lot of an episode you would see in TOS. Eric, where is Hemmer been hiding? In the Jeffries tube? Yes, he's got work to do, man. He's always like somewhere doing something. John McWhat, there's a TNG episode this reminded me of, Season 5's Imaginary Friend, where an alien intelligence gets mad at the Enterprise crew for not treating a kid like an equal. Yeah, I can see tones of that, but that was a lot darker of an episode, but yes. Grant McGregor throws in $20. Oh my god. Thank you. I got distracted by the dog continually licking Christina Chong's chest. I laughed hard. Never wanted to be a dog so bad in my life. It's her actual dog, too, so that's kind of cute. BJ says, I guess this episode was going to solve the daughter problem, her leaving him in a pretty hard ending, although good camping Star Trek episode like TOS Shore Leave. I think you might mean campy, just like Eric did. But yes, it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Box Top Dollar, I am always perplexed when people don't like an episode from 5 on. It's weird to be on the outside. I love that people love it because I so love this show. I would say give it another watch if you've only seen it once and you're not a huge fan. First time I watched it, I enjoyed it well enough. Didn't hit me at the end emotionally, but like I said, I've seen it 3 times now, and each time I enjoy it more. I enjoy all the subtleties of the performances so much more. as well. Well, it's not even subtle performances, it's over the top performances, but I enjoyed it so much more each viewing, and that ending with the daughter really got to me the last time I saw it. So, man, Uhura did have some decent sized boop there. Didn't notice that before. Peter Lukaku, $5. Thank you. Second best of the season. Pike makes the show. Pike's fucking awesome. I like how when he slaps his own hand because it's like home is the safest place. Fleet Pass says the magic of a great push-up bra is a bit of padding, also plenty of tape. Amen. Zachary Gibbons, I'm surprised Spock didn't keep his memory. That's the only downside. With Spock's mental ability, he should have been able to block the entity as well. Okay, this is going to be a problem now. This is now the third person that said that today. Yes and no. This is a younger Spock. He's also half human. He hasn't quite mastered his telepathy aspect. He's not proficient with the mind melds. He learns all this going forward, especially when he does his Kolinar, then he becomes much more powerful in that regard. If he didn't necessarily notice it infiltrating his mind, I could see him totally taking him over. I have no problem with that. That's not a sticky point at all. Hemmer, of course, is way more schooled at that kind of thing, so it made a lot more sense. So, no issue. Eric Martin, $5. I was happy to disappoint you, Cap. It's a skill. Thank you, Eric. Still like the Impulse deck the way it is. With fins and all. Shenzo style. Just busting your balls, man. BJ says, from a quick glimpse of the trailer, I thought Christine Chong's boobs were Rebecca Romaine's. Those corseted dresses must have hurt a bit. The ultimate Starfleet bra. This Jericho, I didn't like this one. Felt like he just gave up on his daughter and just gave her to this crappy cloud creature. And where was Mustache? Who the fuck is Mustache? First of all. Second of all, I'm sorry you didn't like it, but no, he did not give up on his daughter. Take her away from there and have her again get the syndrome. I thought they might do a reset because the entity did say, if you take her away from here, her illness will come back. So I thought, okay, that'll give them more time. Like, it's not, because they kind of made a point up to in this episode saying the longer she's out, the faster it progresses. So it could have bought her more time in theory, I guess. Which, yeah, but he did, he asked his daughter what she wanted. I see no problem with it, and I'm sorry you didn't like it. But who the fuck is Mustache? Where was Mustache? Oh, Samuel Kirk. Gotcha. Yeah, he would have been funny in this episode. I'm glad they're not focusing too much on him, though, honestly. You can tell everyone enjoyed their book personalities when they were filming. The fight seems to be going well. I'm sure I can serve you much better from the castle. Spock, often in TOS, fell victim to mind-controlling aliens. Kirk had to get the shit beat out of him. Help him bring Spock to reason and reality. Yes, this side of paradise. The on-Union scene was the best part of this episode, LOL. Box top dollar. I think it's going to be good for this show to resolve the daughter storyline. Both the daughters in this episode knocked it out of the park. It's rare a child actor feels welcome in a Star Trek episode. Well, funny thing is, I got a friend in, not really a real, not like a friend, like I've talked to him quite often on DM messages and stuff. It's actually his cousin that played the adult daughter. So, yeah. And what a great role to have on a Star Trek episode, a non-corporeal being that can basically come back at any time. Perfect role. So yes. But Vulcans are touch telepaths as well, meaning they can't necessarily sense a telepathic presence as much as a cognitive telepath could. Look at Fleetpaw go. Fleetpaw, you get a raise. George Mangrum, $5. Have we talked about the book being written by Benny Russell from Far Beyond the Stars? I was blown away. Yeah, I didn't even notice that until people brought it up. So, cheers to that. That's awesome. Call the jester. Forget the jester. Yes. Eric Martin, I do like the impulse deck, but not the fins. What's the point? It's the spaceship. BJ says Kirk's obsession with the Enterprise saved him once or twice from mind controlling aliens. My ship is like a woman. My ship. Eric Martin, if number one had one of those low cut dresses, episode couldn't have been aired. Grant McGregor, my complaint of this episode was when the daughter came back. Really wanted the weight to carry on the doctor, giving your kid to a stranger, letting go and keeping everything a secret. No, I like the poignancy of her coming back, and as a parent, to see your little girl just gave you a hug, just said that they loved you, and then says, it tickles daddy, and then disappears, and say, oh my God, I'm never going to see them again. To see them as an adult and not see the progression of them growing up. I look at my 22-year-old daughter, Cassie, and I'm like, I miss you being 9. Like, what happened to all those years? Why can't you be my cute little bubby girl anymore? Now you're a beautiful young woman. So I like the fact that we saw that, the older version. Because as a parent, it's like, you know you did the right thing. She's fine. She's safe. But it's almost more painful to have not seen her grow up. But if they had just left, if you hadn't seen the adult version, that would have been kind of heartbreaking for sure for him. Yeah. Pike's hair was pretty tame today, but Spock's hair was wild and crazy. I almost thought he was Elnor. Cybok has been canon since Final Frontier at Jericho. It's not silly, it's expanding on an already canon character. Fuck. Yeah. Listen, Jericho, a Fleetpot, he was referring to the fact that Hemmer was Spock's brother in this episode because the two wizards were brothers. So it's just a joke. Like, Spock has another brother. Trekyards, isn't there a plot issue at the end? His daughter would be technically dead within minutes at the rate of time it was within, given her age. Did you not fucking listen, Trekyards? This is why you didn't enjoy the episode. The entity says she will never die. She's ageless now. She's immortal. So, and she can come back looking however she wants to look. Trekyards, he could have kept her longer than took her back to the nebula if his method didn't work. Yeah, but he was having no luck, and he was running out of time. They made a point of saying that a few times during the episode. He didn't expect her to be in there that long. She is not enjoying herself. She keeps asking him to reread the story. So not only are you kind of torturing your daughter by having her alone and hearing the same story, not being able to explore the ship, it's awful for everybody. So to put her back in is almost cruel, given the alternatives where she's non-corporeal and can do anything, go anywhere well, I don't know if she can leave the nebula necessarily. That was never kind of clarified. But just to be free. So totally disagree with you. I don't think you're a parent. Christine Chong, hitting those high notes. Nice. Yeah, she got a great set of lungs on her. Eric Martin, $5. All the set dressing must have taken forever on this one. Piano black will need polishing. Piano black. Set dressing would take a while to get the quarters. I wonder how they attach the torches to the walls without like drilling into the walls. Like, get soot all over the set. Like, that kind of annoy me. Yeah, we're not talking about that, BJ, so I'm not going to talk about that until tomorrow night. I don't have any children, but this episode brought a tear to me eye. Elements of the Nexus 2, which appeared to have a sentience, communicating with Picard. The ship sets looked great, all dressed up. Corridors and bridge looked a lot better with fewer shiny lights and surfaces. Peter Lukaku throws in $10. Oh my god. Once again, Nurse Chapel was gorgeous. Yes. Her with the blonde, curly, long hair. It's like, oh my god. That's like one of my kryptonites. Curly hair like that. Curly hair is one of my kryptonites. If it's red curly hair, that's even better. But yeah, she looked fantastic. Kind of, like I said, it's a shame we didn't get to see, you know, how good her lungs were necessarily. But, and she wasn't in it that much. And there's a weird transition too at one point where she's like stirring the cauldron or whatever. And then the very next scene is this hand reaching for the communicator, and it's Hemmer's hand, but I thought it was her hand. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with your hand, lady? But just a weird edit. The dog of the princess was the actual dog that belonged to the princess. Yes. Trek or not, we found a cure. He found a cure last in the previous episode, so he knows it exists. Okay. Listen, Jericho, we should all be glad he wasn't reading the Royale to her. Yes. Total random reviews. Plaid Man, again, $20. Thank you so much. I don't get how someone who considers themselves a Trekkie not like this episode. In all the best ways, it's a very Trek episode. The series itself is very Trek. I haven't been this happy to be a Trekkie in a very long time. Cheers, my friend. I was waiting for La'an to ask the doctor where the dog came from, with the dog still there. I think the personal quarters looks the best in Stranger Worlds. I could spend some time in them hanging out. Couldn't work on the bridge or walk the corridors without a headache. Sean says, binge the last 5 Stranger Worlds episodes and was not disappointed. I was only disappointed at myself for not giving this series a try. Sucker. You're one of those. I don't like new Trek. I don't like new stuff. I'm not going to watch it. Yeah, just like I say all along, just watch it. You'd be surprised what you'll like and what you don't like. And if you don't like it, then you can be informed on what you're talking about when you say you don't like it. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you watched it. And yes, you should be hard on yourself. Shame on you. If you haven't watched this, my guess is you probably have not watched Prodigy, in which case you're also missing out, and you'll hate yourself for not having watched Prodigy when you finally do watch it. It's kind of my guess, but I could be wrong. Sean, let me know. Peter Lukaku, $5. I'm wondering what time limit is to keep the daughter outside of the memory buffer. Not sure. I get the sense it's like 12 minutes or some shit like that, something weird. I don't know. Never clarified. Doesn't matter now anyway. The transforming reminded me of the TNG episode Masks. I wouldn't be surprised if they got some ideas from that. Yes, I kind of thought the same thing. And I actually like Masks. I like that episode of TNG. A lot of people shit all over it. I think it's pretty great. It's a very Trek-like story element. Very alien. They run into this probe, which is actually, or like a asteroid, which is actually like a probe of kinds, and it starts transforming the ship. And Umsaka. So yeah, I like Masks. Suck it, bitch. Not you specifically, just whoever doesn't like Masks. The Stanleys, good night all. Good night. Devo77X, the Nebula being reminded me of the being from the TNG episode Lonely Among Us. Yes, I said the same thing. Olivia says, good thing the doctor wasn't reading Barney and Friends. That would be terrible. Yeah, elements from Masks and Lonely Among Us. Actually, I had seen Prodigy and I loved it. Good. Because a lot of people that don't like the new Trek or new stuff is like, I'm not watching Prodigy. It's a kid's show and it looks stupid. So I'm glad you watched that. I'm glad you liked it. Gears of Resistance. Such a fun and awesome episode of Trek. Amen. Listen, Jericho, I just didn't understand why he didn't just put her in stasis. Good question. I have no idea. Hello, Colin. Fleet Pass says, I've enjoyed every episode but one, and even the one I didn't enjoy was great. Hands down, best new live action Trek. Well, which one didn't you enjoy? Which one wouldn't? Which one wouldn't Fleetpaw enjoy? I can't even begin to guess. I'm trying to remember them all myself. Let me know, Fleetpaw. Total random reviews. Masked is a great episode. Awesome data episode. Great Brent's episode. Dude is a good actor. Hell to the yes. Absolutely. Olivia says last time on Strange New World was surprisingly short today. You know, they need to fucking ditch that. Last time on Strange New Worlds. Fuck off. It's not serialized. Yeah. They remind you of the daughter. Well, stop. I fucking hate that. Not every episode of G started that way. Not every episode of Voyager started that way. Not every episode of DS9 started that way. Not every episode of TOS started that way. So please stop. We don't need it. In serialized storytelling, yeah, maybe more so. Yes, there are some serialized elements in this with the characters, as there should be. But not every fucking show needs to do it. And it's really getting on my fucking nerves. Previously on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Go fuck yourself. That's what's previously. Just stop. Nor was I going to, but thank you for that. I always skipped the last time on. Yeah, so do I. Fleetpaw. I think it was episode 5 or 6. I'd have to look at my notes to remember the titles. What's it about, though? It doesn't help me. I'm guessing he didn't like the child killing episode. Oh, okay. Devo says, I haven't watched the teaser for next week. Neither have I. Grant McGregor, I want to coin the term competitive acting episode where everyone tries to crew the scene with the over-the-top character they were given. Even if they opened with captain's logs would be much better. Yes. Last time on Foley Rants. Don't need that either. John McWhat says, unless it's the second part of a multi-parter, I don't need a previously on segment. Thank you. Yes, totally agree. 100%. Peter the Caco, I think the Enterprise sequences would look amazing in 3D. I agree. Absolutely. Liz Jericho, no show on a streaming site needs a recap. Yes. Eric Martin, I love when Nurse Chapel leaned in and said, how are her dopamine levels? How are her dopamine levels? Previously on Trekyards, Samuel said something was sleek. Captain Foley ranted for a minute. And now the conclusion. It's never and now the conclusion anymore. Zachary Gibbons. Oof. This would have been worse if they were reading Michael with Crichton's Jurassic Park. If you don't move, it can't see you. BJ Turan, $2, previously on Trekyards. Death to last time, yes. Yeah, it was the child killing one. Oh. I enjoyed that for what it was. It's the whole thing of stacking up the whole saying the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one or the few, and how that applies to people or a person and how other people look at that. I thought it was fantastic. It's great social commentary. So I'm sorry you didn't like that, Fleetpaw. I get that you didn't maybe not like the message where the kid had to die, but this is the way it is. They are doing 3D. I have a 3D TV. I have a 3D TV too, box top. But no, they're not doing this in 3D. I wish they would. Olivia, last time on Foley's Goatee Peak. Hey, I'm growing it out again, so shut your face. Stephen Fathry, laughing my ass off. I love your Trekyards recap, Cap. Trekornaut, last week on the Michael Burnham show, Michael did some shit and cried and whisper talked. Total random reviews. Sorry, I should do last time on the Michael Burnham show. Michael Burnham saved the universe 5 times, cried a little, and whisper talked her way through an entire episode. And now, the continuation. Total random reviews. No one has mentioned La'an's amazing breasts in a minute, so yeah, those were amazing. Am I right? Yes, yes, you are right. I'm a little jiggly, and that's great. Like I said, there's no new ships in this episode, yet it was full of ample nacelles. So, Doctor Who did a 3D episode, and it was Cameron quality 3D. Oh, really? I should get that then. I saw the Doctor Who 3D thing. I collect 3D Blu-rays and stuff. Get my hands on any ones I can because I love watching 3D stuff on my TV. So I need to get that. I kind of skipped over it, but a Millennium Falcon with nacelles. What? This was a TNG DS9 Voyager holodeck episode without the holodeck. No, this was a Cupid episode without the Q. You know, where he sent them all to Sherwood Forest to become Robin Hood and his band of merry men. That's what this was. Colin Barrett, previously on Star Trek Discovery. Nothing happened, and now more crying. Jaddock Productions. The captain takes a drink. Everyone's jaw drops. Smart-assed comments are sent. Captain reads on. 'Tis the way. Jonathan. When the show started out with Dr. Mbanga's daughter in the transporter buffer, I thought, not again. But they finally resolved this story arc, although not in a way we would have hoped. I thought it was great the way it was resolved, and I'm glad it is resolved. Rich Klein, $2. Trekyards. And now, the continuation. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Lisa Jericho, Stargate. It was based on an unused TOS script. Was it? Was it really? I didn't know that. Peter Lukaku, $5. Cheers, Peter. Thank you. This many episodes in, the characters have grown on me more than all seasons of Discovery. Absolutely, 100%. Even Hemmer, who's only been in 3 of the episodes. Hemmer's fucking great. Zachary Gibbons, only 5 times. Slow day for her. Yeah, she wasn't doing anything. It was just a normal day. Olivia, I hope the breast is yet to come. I could say something about that entire sentence, but I'm not going to. I'm going to move on. Devo77X. It was on your screen behind you. The ship looked like a Millennium Falcon with nacelles. Oh, yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Tis what it is. You didn't see anything. This is not the ship you're looking for. BJ, last time on the Michael Burnham Show. Last time on the Michael Burnham Show. Michael Burnham showed some cleavage, and several lonely men in basements stopped hating her momentarily. And now, the hate continues. Rich Klein, $5. This is the way. The captain has spoken. Yeah, this is the way. I have spoken. Running out of beer. Viewer, please, could you shout out my friend Nick Gar for his birthday? Gar? Is that his last name? Anyway, happy birthday, Nick, from Captain Foley and Trekyards. Just hope you have a great day and an even better night. But happy birthday. Nick Gar. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. Please let me know and I will correct it. But yes, happy birthday, Nick, from viewer. Fleetpaw. Ain't that the truth, Peter? I actually can't remember their names. Bryce, Reese. I don't know their full names. Lieutenant Nielsen, she's the blonde. Arium, but she's dead. Detmer. Awashikam. I want to see Vulcan boobs. Disco showed what Klingon boobs look like. Well, we have rounded ears. Vulcans have pointy ears. So rounded nipples, pointy nipples. Honestly, I want to see what a naked Ferengi looks like, a naked Ferengi woman, because we always hear about them being naked all the time. So I want to see that. Total random reviews. I don't even remember the names of most of the bridge crew from Discovery. Harrison Wells. Best part of the episode was La'an. She was pretty great. I wish she was in it more. Ryan K. One of the best parts for sure. Well, two parts, but yes. Donnie Pearson. Although I love Strange New Worlds, Prodigy, and Lower Decks more, I shall give season 5 of Discovery and the third and final season of Picard a try. Well, I know you won't be disappointed by Picard season 3. If you like ships, if you like the TNG crew, if you like that kind of vibe, they're going back to that for that. So I do know that. That's all I'll say, but I would say definitely check it out. Cryptic Spider-Man. I thought he was tricking Foley into saying something racist. My bad. What would he be saying here? Let me see. I don't want to say anything racist. Where the hell did viewer go? Oh, yeah, he retracted the message. So maybe it was. I forget the name I said, but I was just. Oh, Nick Gar. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha 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 ha. Funny. Wow, what a cunt. Viewer is goodbye, not coming back. Thank you for pointing that out, Spider-Man. Let's see. So yes, Cryptic Spider-Man, thank you. Didn't notice that. Smart Smears. An okay episode turned into an underwhelming one because of the ending. Should have been a season 2 episode. The fuck are you talking about? Sorry, but okay. Eric Epperling. Has it ever been explained what function the Andorian antenna perform? Yeah, I think it's in the medical Starfleet medical manual textbook thing that I have in the other room. They're sensory organs. Peter Lukaku, $5. Only 2 episodes left. Are you thinking a 2-parter season finale? Possibly. It could be that crashed Constitution class ship. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised, actually, now that you said that. Jaddock Productions, Naked Ferengi. Yeah, as long as it ain't Quark's mother. Moogie. Sean, every single main character in Strange New Worlds is hot. It's odd, I know, that's a weird thing to say, but as tricky I've ever experienced this before, it's kind of weird. Oh, as a Trekkie. Gotcha. Smart Smears, I'm curious about Discovery Season 5. Might give us a low-stakes season we thought 4 would be. Either way, I'm sure it will be okay in the Discovery way. Goody. Devo77X. So season 3 will be the truth future, and be like all good things. Listen, Jericho, that's funny. Hi, Mike. How's it going, Mr. Hunt? Colin Barrett. Yes, the Crash Connie is in next week's episode. Ooh, spooky. Eric Epperling. They need to have Vina on Talos 4 make another appearance. Yes. Total random reviews. Crash Connie. Did I miss something? That's in the trailers. You missed a trailer or 2, probably. Smart Smears. What I meant by season 2 episode is it feels like we barely started the Ambanga daughter plot and it's already over. It felt nothing like the ending. Felt nothing from the ending because there wasn't enough build up for me. Rest was good. And how many times have you seen it? Once? I saw it once and I was like, that's pretty sad. That's shitty. And then I've now seen it 3 times, and each time it hit me more. Like I was welling up with tears the last time. I have 2 daughters. So when you picture that, it's like, oof. So I don't know. It just depends on, I guess, the way you think about things. This Jericho, as long as we don't see a clothed female Ferengi. Oh, shuddering, yes. Gene Awaski Jr. From the standpoint of the actors, it was probably a lot of fun, but overall, it wasn't one of my favorite episodes of this season. Zachary Gibbons, bring in Cybok for the season finale. They teased him. They can't leave us hanging. I think it'd be more of a season 2 thing for him. Jonathan, this season in general is pretty good. There is a little nitpick, but Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks seem like the best Trek of the seem like the best Trek of the 90s. Okay. Jean says, I can't imagine as a parent it would be that easy to let her go, though. Well, if you've been holding her as a fucking prisoner in a fucking transporter buffer and can only bring her out for a few minutes at a time, where you're reading a story to her and you can't let her get out of the fucking sick bay, you're holding your child hostage and there's nothing you can do to save her and she's going to die, and the longer she's out, the faster the disease progresses. Fuck, son. I'd probably give my daughter up for a life of pain, no disease, no death, timelessness as well. So look at it that way. I don't think it was easy for him at all. Jadek Productions, old saying, if your palms are itchy, you're going to get something, but if your crotch is itchy, you already have it. Jokes, please don't kick me. That's pretty funny. John McWhat, preview for episode 9 gave me horror vibes. Maybe Gorn again? Or perhaps a new monster. Don't know, haven't seen it. Colin Barrett, so Mbanga's daughter grows up to be a Doctor Who companion. Fleetpaw Swiftback, $5. Thank you so much. I'm dumb for not catching the Simpsons crate call name. Wow, I must be tired. Drink for my mistake. No problem, Fleetpaw. I didn't get it either, so I'm glad I didn't pronounce the name. But yeah, dumb fuck is gone, so should have known what the name viewer as well, honestly. So hopefully he's still here, and fuck that guy. Jose Ramirez. I wonder if they will ever do a multiverse episode where we see Zachary Quinto's Spock on screen with Ethan Peck. Probably not, no. Smart Smears. I should rewatch it. I should rewatch more New Trek in general, really. I don't do that much at all. Yeah, it's usually better on multiple viewings. Like I usually watch these at least 3 or 4 times before we do... 3 times before I do this first reaction kind of hangout. And then probably another time tomorrow before our live for the full breakdown. And then I usually don't go back to it and for quite a long time. So at least 4 times under the belt. And each time you kind of notice different stuff, so... Speaking of Cybok, I'm assuming that Kirk will be in season 2 as well. Weird that they leaked Kirk so early. Kev Horsley, I really like this latest episode. I was going to watch Cupid to prepare watching it, but I ended up watching The Return of the Archons instead. Anyways, another great episode. Yeah, Cupid will be a good one to watch, back to back with this one. Lista Jericho, so what story would you have liked to see... So which story would you like to see recreated here? What do you mean? Todd Walker, sorry I'm late. I really like this one. Great episode for the Doctor, and Anson Mount was hilarious. He was great. And Mbanga's just flat tone reactions to everything, like, great. Really? What are you doing? It's just fucking fantastic. It was crazy seeing everyone playing against type in this week's episode. Yes. What I thought was funny at the end when Hammer's like, oh, I have a headache. Doctor, am I in your quarters? What, you don't remember anything? No, bitch. You roofied me. Just, oh, it's a bad joke, but it's kind of funny. I gotta go to bed. Sorry, I can't stay late. Gotta wake up and sell fireworks in the morning. Good night, Cap. Good night, Andrew. Plaid. Total random reviews. Colin Barrett. Would be hilarious if Quinto played Cybok. Would be fucking phenomenal. Tyrone Lease. Hashtag Anson Mount did a great job this episode. Yes. Scott Phillips. Not so much with Strange New Worlds. Picard and Disco are better when you binge watch them. Okay. Jaddock Productions. Forgive me, Cap, but I could not watch it. But I may buy a few drinks and try again later. Why couldn't you? Oh, yeah, you had to go to the hospital. Hopefully all is well. Fleetpa, I protest. I am not a merry man. I protest. I am not a merry man. Rahul says, I'm glad Spock was affected by the nebula. Gave him a chance to shine. Totally in agreement. No problem with Spock being infected. Zachary says, I think he means if the entity took a story from Foley's head instead of the little girl's. Oh, good God. I have no idea. I have no idea. Les Jericho, I mean, if I could pick the novel he was reading to his daughter, what would it be? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Playboy. Gene Iwaski Jr., the coordinate maneuver is one of the best written and best acted episodes in all of Star Trek, and it is my favorite episode of TOS. Oh, the Corbinite maneuver. I'm like, what the fuck is the coordinate maneuver? Peter, where's Kit 10K been? He's been around. He's just been busy and has some things going on, so. Jaddock Productions, may I speak about something freely? No. Why are you asking unalive? What do you want to speak of freely? Yes, you're allowed. Go for it. Let's see what it is. Just say it. Just fucking write it in there. Why do you ask permission? Mark, I know you said Anthony Rapp sometimes catches your videos. Has anyone from Strange New Worlds watched? Not that we're aware of. No. George Clifford, the big red dog. Okay. That's a good one to pick. I'm not sure the dog would fit in the corridors, but... Fleetpa, Chapel's adventures on the casting couch would be the story. Jesus Christ. Alyssa Jericho, I think the Alamarine episode is a good comparison to this. No? Not at all. In no way, shape, or form. One is phenomenally good, and then there's Alamarine. I don't even see any similarities, really. No. Hate to say that you're wrong, but you're wrong. The Doctor, Corbomite, a material, a device. Jose says, I heard a rumor that Quentin Tarantino penned a screenplay for an episode of Strange New Worlds and potentially might direct that same episode. I'm not too confident it's true, but what would be your thoughts if so? Why are we getting into this again? This is fucking old news. This is like fucking 3-year-old news. Like, listen, I like Quentin Tarantino stuff. I really do. Just watched Django the other day. I haven't seen Django. Just watch it. It's phenomenal. I love all the Quentin Tarantino stuff. He shouldn't touch Star Trek. I know he's a Star Trek fan. It'd be interesting to see his take on it, but I don't think he should do it necessarily. So that's my thought. We've talked about that like ad nauseum when it was a thing, so... Peter says, always have to ask the captain to speak freely, sir. On a fucking ship, yes. This is a YouTube Live. Just put in what you have to say. If I don't want to read it, I'm not going to read it. Gene Owaski Jr. Has Star Trek finally broken away from big boobs as a requirement for screen time? As a requirement? I'm just going to move on from that. I don't know. Uh, okay. Jeddick, I'm not going to read that because it's not really anybody's business. Sorry you feel that way and that you're pissed off. But doctors go to school for a long time. They know their stuff. They get paid a lot of money. So maybe get a second opinion. There's a saying with a doctor, get a second opinion. That's what I would do. So, Mr. Jericho, if this was a TOS episode, what characters do you see Kirk and Bones playing in this episode? Bones would be Mbanga, and Kirk would be Pike, for sure, hands down. 100%. I could see Kirk playing it up as that kind of character. John McWhat, if Quentin Tarantino did a Star Trek, there'd be an alien species whose whole thing was to go barefoot everywhere. Amen. Peter Lukaku, $5. If you like Quentin Tarantino movies, have you seen The Hateful Eight? Guilty pleasure. Yes, I have. Fantastic movie. Fun movie. All of his stuff is good for different reasons. Yeah, I'm a fan of Tarantino. Gene Owaski Jr. Is the haircut for the actress who plays Ortega about the actress or the character? I think it's about the character because I've seen pictures, promo pictures of her with just short hair and not the side shaved. So, yeah. Listen, Jericho, he means that Tarantino has written a Strange New Worlds episode specifically, or did the CSI back in the day, so I could see it happening. Tarantino has written a Strange New Worlds episode? Say what? I'm so confused. Gene says, I wonder how long it'll be before the book is actually published. Oh, yeah. I wondered that too. You're going to be able to buy this thing, this storybook, absolutely, at Trek conventions and stuff. It's not going to be long. You'll see it posted on StarTrek.com, their store, like, probably tomorrow. Let's be fair. Yeah. Kev Horsley, the nebula really reminded me of Star Trek Season 1 episode Cathexis, in which the alien entity of a nebula tries to take over Tuvok. Yep. Don't forget when Picard beams himself into the nebula to become one with it. George Manley, Bones would be pining after his daughter Joanna, and the ending would be different. Jaddock Productions, Quentin Tarantino gets Sam L. Jackson as a Klingon hunting tribbles. I've had it with these motherfucking tribbles on this motherfucking ship. Zachary Gibbons, Kirk being scared and running away would be funny. I could see Shatner acting the heck out of that. Yes, 100%, as he's on screen right now. Box Top Dollar. Tarantino directed an episode of Alias. It was an okay, interesting episode, but the damage caused by that episode to the rest of the season was hard to forgive. That's the other thing. Yeah, don't let me your franchise, man. I don't know. It's kind of like what Rian Johnson did to Star Wars. Just totally fucked up everything that JJ maybe wanted to have continued, but maybe start your fucking sequel trilogy with a actual plan for all 3 fucking movies. Fuck Rian Johnson for that, by the way. What the fuck? Hairstyles only matter to the best barber in Starfleet, Mr. Mott. Thoughts on Natalie Portman? Oh, yeah. Don't know what else you want me to say. Yeah, she looks buff for Thor, the new Thor movie, Love and Thunder, but not really my thing, personally, but I love Natalie Portman. Jose says, that's what I meant. I heard a rumor of a movie a while back, but now that he's expressed interest in moving to TV, I heard that he might do that instead of a movie. No, I don't think he could do an episode of Strange New Worlds. I haven't heard that he's moving to TV. Zachary says, I wonder what the crew was thinking when they regained their memory and found themselves in the cargo bay after Mbanga beamed them there. Everybody got roofied. The Doctor. This episode reminds me of the 12th Doctor's regular episode, with Bill becoming a being of light, going off to travel with her watery space girlfriend. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Eric Epperling, question. What do you think the Klingons did to all the tribbles Scotty beamed over to their ship? Probably evacuated those sections and airlocked them into space, would be my guess. Possibly disintegrated them all with their disruptors. Those tribbles met an awful fate. So at the end of that, the Trouble with Tribbles, where it's like, you didn't. Of course not, sir. That would be inhuman. Oh, what did you do then? I sent them to the Klingons, sir. It's like, well, that's not much better. They're going to be brutally fucking murdered. Maybe with Batless. Yeah, they'd cause a nuisance to the Klingons for a little while, but the Klingons wouldn't put up with that shit. So you just condemned all those poor little animals to a horrific death. Good job, Scotty. You get a fucking biscuit. Gene says, has anyone heard about the Tommy confronting campaign for the $600 TOS Enterprise? Yes, I've done a video on it. I intend to get one. I don't think they're going to reach their goal because they're fucking stupid and only made it available in the US. But I have somebody that I can have it shipped to in the US, so it's fine. But they're only that, fucking, I don't even know what percentage, like 27% with 11 days left or something in the campaign, or 18 days left. They're not going to hit it. But it's a fantastic, I did a whole video about it, whether it's worth it or not. And it totally is worth the cost. So, Peter Lukaku, $5. All things serious, the set displays in this episode were phenomenal. So detailed. Yes. Totally agree. And I love the map of the kingdom as the shape of the Enterprise. Devo77X. Bones was supposed to have a daughter in Way to Eden, but Gene didn't like the idea of McCoy having a daughter from a failed marriage. Fleetpaw. They killed the triples and fed them to their targs. There's that too. Hello, Video Awesome. Hello, Jeff Sturm. Jeddick says Natalie Portman would be really Thor after. Okay. Colin, at least they did not do what Resident Evil did, end the world in the second movie and then try to squeeze out 4 more movies before giving up and starting again. Tribble soup. The actor who plays Hammer is actually visually impaired. Yes. Are you just finding this out? We knew this going in. Jeff asks how I'm doing. I'm doing well, thank you. Jonathan, we shouldn't fear the Klingons and the Romulans. The true threat of the Alpha Quadrant is sentient nebulae. Peter Lukaku, speaking of Klingons, I'm assuming they won't be showing up in Strange New Worlds this season. I think they will. But that's just wishful thinking. We'll see. Mark says, there'll be no Tribble at all. Zachary Gibbons, they still sing songs about the great Tribble. Not the Tribble War, the Tribble Hunt. There was no war. So, Zachary, you're wrong. They still sing songs about the great Tribble Hunt. Fleetpaw Swiftback, $5. That was the first chapter of the great Tribble Hunt. There are still songs sung of it to this day, where Koloth and his brave crew slew the menace. Sonic Fan 22. That Ryan guy isn't doing too well. Well, it's not how you spell Ryan if you're talking about Ryan Johnson. His name is spelled R-I-A-N. Yes. Not like rain, not R-A-I-N. It's R-I-A-N. Fleetpaw, the video about the Tommy Enterprise. Thank you, Fleetpaw, for sharing that. Gene says, did the crew members who were shot with arrows by Spock die? Who cares? They're not main cast. It's fine. This is Jericho. I don't think the TOS... And no, hold on. Before we get to that, Gene, Spock didn't shoot anybody. That was Una. Listen, Jericho, I don't think the TOS writers thought that darkly when they wrote the ending. That ending, it was a different time. It absolutely was. If Taylor Swift wrote a song in Star Trek, I think the smash hit would be I Knew You Were Tribble when you walked in. Jay Spales, the captain is right. The Klingons will appear, no doubt. Fleetpaw, they're red shirts. They don't matter anyway. It's true. Jeff Stern, really like your collection. Oh, thank you. That's only part of it. This is like a small part of my collection. This is just like for the show. There's a shit ton behind you as well. There's stuff over here. There's stuff down in the basement. I've done tours of this is my ready room. This is what I call this. And my office downstairs and stuff. I mean, but thank you. Jeff Sturm, like less than 1% of the collection. Gene says, here's a TOS throwback. Spock cannot handle emotions, says Dr. McCoy in the 3rd season and episode Plato's Stepchildren, but Spock was emotional in last night's episode. But it's years to Plato's Stepchildren. We saw Spock being more emotional in the cage, or in the menagerie, if you want to go there. And so this is the progression of him trying to fight for his right to have no feelings. So it'd be more difficult for him come Plato's Stepchildren. But yeah, that was a little bit over dramatized, that line of, he can't have emotions, he'll die, or whatever the fuck she said. I can't remember. But anyway. Just the cast was having a lot of fun with this episode, as they should have been. George Manley probably wound up with a headache for his trouble. Fleetpaw said, my hope would be that Strange New Worlds Klingons would be a mix of I hate the fucking term Klingorks, I really do. The Discovery Klingons, smooth-headed and ridge-headed Klingons, show the diversity of the Empire. Yeah, you were saying that all through Discovery, that they could have showed the smooth-heads, or the smooth-heads, the Imperial Klingons, which are the ridged ones, and then their fucking Discovery Klingons. Show all three, especially when you're on Kronos for an episode. Like, FASA had it right, man. FASA did it well. The smooth-headed Klingons were either genetically or surgically altered to look like humans so that they could patrol the Federation border and infiltrate Federation space should the need arise, and not give the Federation any clue as to what the Imperial Klingon race looked like. There were also Klingons that were surgically altered to look like Romulans to patrol the Romulan neutral zone. So, yeah, that was a better fucking answer. And then Enterprise came along and fixed everything, and Enterprise did a pretty good fucking job. And then Discovery comes along and fucked it all up. So, good job. What is better, Season 3, Episode 4 of The Orville, or Season 1, Episode 8 of Strange New Worlds? They're both fantastic for different reasons. You can't compare the two. Jedi Productions. So, Captain, shall we continue to stare at each other across the YouTubes? Yes. Yes, we will. Take that, Tomahawk. War God 6. Just got my first orders of pins from Fansets. I got a DS9 Voyager Delta pin and an Aquaman logo pin. I'm wondering if I should get the I've got the magnet ones, though. I'm not worried about the damage to shirts yet. Cool. Debo says, when I heard Crimson Guard, I thought of G.I. Joe Cobra. I did too. The villains of G.I. Joe had a group called the Crimson Guard, who were led by the twins Tomax and Zaymot. I thought the same fucking thing. Devo77X, we are brothers, you and I. Video awesome. What is your optimal summer room temperature? Well, the air conditioner has been set to 22 degrees Celsius. So there you go. John McWhat, there's been a production picture floating around that I think we are getting TNG appearance Klingons, but without any skin darkening makeup. It's a secret. Jean says Penny Johnson stated that Star Trek had the most comfortable bra she had ever worn. Who's Penny Johnson, just for the record? I don't know which actress that is. I feel bad now. I should know. Jeff Sturm, I have learned so much about FASA from you. You did not spell it right. It's F-A-S-A. Just FASA. F-A-S-A. Peter Lukaku. All these years, and I've never used any of my available emojis. And then emoji vomit all over the screen. Thank you very much, Peter. Box Top Dollar. Tarantino wrote a unique episode of Alias, but the aftermath from that episode devastated the remainder of this season. I am very opposed to Tarantino directing an episode of Star Trek. As am I, as much as I love the guy. Cassidy Yates. Ah, yes, Cassidy Yates. Gotcha. Zachary Gibbons. I'll take the Crimson Guard over the Fenris Rangers. Hell yes. Jedi Production. Yeah, okay, got it. Lisa Jericho. I thought there was sexual tension between Pike and Ortegas in that recreation. I thought they would kiss at the end. And Jeff Sturm. Gotcha. FASA. Yes, FASA. Gene Iwaski Jr. It's interesting that Mbanga is chief medical officer on Pike's Enterprise, but later on finds himself subordinate to Dr. McCoy on the same ship. How are they going to deal with that? Well, we initially thought it was because he was breaking protocol by having his daughter in the buffer that they find out about that, and they basically demote him. The other thing is, in TOS, he had been serving for quite a few years studying Vulcan medicine on Vulcan. So he probably takes a leave of absence from Starfleet to go do that. And as a result, loses his chief medical officer status or just doesn't want it anymore for some reason. Maybe something happens in season 4 of Strange New Worlds and somebody dies under his care and he just can't live with himself being chief medical officer anymore and he resigns. Who the fuck knows? There's a lot of potential for storytelling there. Crimson Guard, red shirts. Fleet Palace says Mbanga probably resigned his position as CMO, agreed to stay on as a staff officer, or come back as a staff officer, because he does leave and go to Vulcan for a few years. Video awesome. Wow, that is awesome. Very good room temperature. I know, right? You had to look it up, didn't you? It took you a while. You're like 22 degrees Celsius. What the fuck is that in Americanese? Maybe he is friends with Bones. Could be. Yeah, maybe it's a lot of paperwork to be the CMO. Peter says, so hot up north in Ontario, all the Dairy Queens are closed. AC is running at max. Apartment electrical core running hot. It is brutal here. The last 2 days there was a heat warning. That's lifted now, but we've hit up to 45. Feeling like 45 degrees Celsius one day. That was what it felt like. I think the actual temperature was 39 degrees Celsius, but it felt like 45 degrees Celsius, and that was fucking brutal outside. This episode seemed like it was based on a 60s Roddenberry written script. I believe it was, actually. Somebody else earlier had said it was originally TOS script. Devo says, fingers crossed for a formal announcement of season 3 of Strange New World. Let's get season fucking 2 on the air before we do that shit. Listen, Jericho, you know what's going to happen. Someone is going to find a cure for his daughter's condition a few days after this. That's what happened to McCoy. he fucking took his father off life support, and shortly thereafter, they found a cure that would have allowed his dad to live a lot longer. So, yeah, thanks to Cybok for that. That was McCoy's pain. And, but still, you gotta weigh, she's now an immortal entity, essentially, that, you know, you could probably go visit anytime you wanted and learn a lot of great things from her. So I don't know. I think we'll see her again, to be honest. I think she's going to show up again. Dr. Mbanga is likely just visiting for a while on Kirk's Enterprise. Temporary posting. Him and McCoy are about the same age, same rank. Zachary Gibbons, maybe she is a semi-retired. He served for a while. Maybe he came back for TOS by a seldom used reserve activation clause. Amen. This is Jericho. In the novels, Kirk requested McCoy to be his CMO. Yes. You can do that when you're a captain. You can put people in positions on your ship. Jadok says that's a warm spring day here. Just be thankful that you don't have the humidity. Are you fucking kidding me? Ontario is super fucking humid. Dude, we're surrounded by fresh water. We have the Great Lakes. It is fucking humid here. That's why we have a humid X factor. That's why when it's 35 degrees outside in real temperature, it feels like fucking 45. So don't tell me we don't have humidity, dude. Dude. God. Trust me, it's fucking humid here. You walk outside, it feels like you're walking into a fucking brick wall. Just boom. It is. We have humidity. We're also in the snow belt as a result. So because of the Great Lakes and the way the cloud formations form over the Great Lakes, we get dumped on with snow every fucking winter as well. So we get a shit ton more snow than a lot of people around us. That's called the Great Lake effect. Look that up. So yeah, we're in what's called the snow belt. And so summers are brutally fucking hot and humid. And winters are just fucking shitty cold and fucking lots of snow. Why do I live here? Why do I live here? I'm just checking, make sure that you are not the Borg with a temperature of 39.1 degrees Celsius. That'd be brutally warm. Gene says, has anyone else noticed that science fiction has an obsession with torches? Tim Theo, where can we submit an idea for a Trekyards video? I'd love to see a top 10 most powerful time travelers. Gary 7, the Travelers, Krenim, Sphere Builders, even Janeway and the Borg could be included. Well, Gary 7's not a time traveler, so he's out of the running, my friend. The time travel is not one of the supervisor's powers, but I'll take it under advisement. You can send an email to trekyards@hotmail.com if you want to request something. Just got in. Did you talk about the author of the book already? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Benny Russell. Ryan K. And who knows, maybe at some point the Doctor can get the same deal. I'm still waiting for the heat wave the UK was supposed to be having. Box Top Dollar, does anyone know if the Jeffries tube had lights on the rails in the Saurian Squall episode? I didn't think of it. I noticed that they were lit this episode. Good question. The Jeffries tube did look different this episode, though, from the last one. So, Gene said, I wonder how much involvement Alex Kurtzman has with the series because it's well thought out through every aspect of it. Well, in that case, he would have no fucking input because he's a fucking idiot. So, if he had even looked at it sideways, it would be way more awful than it is. Because it's not awful. That's what I mean. Like, if he even, came on set once, it would be disgusting. The Doctor, yeah, the lakes make it shitty. It's bad humid here in central Indiana. It's all drifts here, too. Yeah, amen, brother. Gene Iwaski Jr., the crew quarters on Strange New Worlds are huge. They're huge. PJ Turan, we have been cold and rainy in eastern upstate New York for this week. The high temperature is us tomorrow. A jet stream moves on from us And we get hot and humid too. Fleet Paw puts in $2. Yep, he's grouchy as fuck due to the heat and humidity. Who, me? No, I stay inside where it's fucking air conditioned. Go outside for a minute or two, you know. Plus, then you get in the car, hot for a minute, air kicks on. We got air everywhere, except my Camaro doesn't have air. My Camaro doesn't have air conditioning, and I drove it to my model club meeting last week, on the hottest day, where it felt like 45 degrees, with the windows down, and even when you're driving with the breeze blowing in, I was sweating my ass off, and then I had to stop at some stoplights because that's what those are for, you know. If you go through them, they kind of look down on that. But anyway, sitting there and just sweat pouring off my face. I love the Camaro, but goddamn, don't drive it in that hot of weather. Plus, the temperature gauge on the engine was like climbing up to like 210 or so, and it shouldn't really go past 200. Anyway, bad idea driving the Camaro that day. I'll just say that. John McWhat, do you at least get long summer days in the summer? I am in Michigan and love the 9:30 sunsets in June. John, I don't know where you think I live. I live in London, Ontario. Michigan is right fucking next door. We get the exact same weather and the exact same daytimes as you do. I'm probably an hour and a half, 2 hours drive from you. It depends where you are in Michigan, but regardless, London, Ontario, look where it is on the map. If you extend the 39th parallel or the border straight across Ontario, I'd be in the States. We're in the part that dips down. So, Zachary Gibbons, I figure Canada's like any other part of the world. Some parts of the year are really hot, some parts are really cold. The L cars behind you is fantastic. Thank you, Jeff. This Jericho, I think if you join as an admiral, you can request a particular live. Yeah, you get one per month, I think. I can't remember the tiers now. Gene Iwaski Jr., Michael Moore on For All Mankind, and Brandon Vega on the Orville. Our old friends are just busy making great shows. Jeff Sturm, yes, the Jeffries Tube was a great touch in this episode. Don't know if you mentioned it yet. Got the live kind of late. Didn't specifically mention the Jeffries Tube, but welcome. I'm sorry you got your notification late. Squadron Course, $1. That's what I had the drink for. Gene says Mask from TNG is a great episode. I agree. I like Masks. A lot of people think it's a shitty episode, but I disagree. It's okay, Jadok, no problem. You don't have a monopoly on heat, nor do you have a monopoly on humidity. And you do not want our snow as much as you think you want our snow, and you want me to send you the snow, and I share pictures of the driveway, and I have to shovel that shit, and you joke around and say you want the snow. You don't want the snow. Trust me. Just enjoy not having snow. This is Jericho. Have you ever played car sauna on a hot day? I have not, because that sounds incredibly stupid. Zachary Gibbons, I noticed you are drinking Red Stripe. You ever been to Jamaica? Yes, I have been to Jamaica, and yes, they provide Red Stripe. We were at one of the Rios, Rio, whatever. We were on a resort. It was a brand new resort too, and there was always fresh cold stripe or red stripe, cold Red Stripe beer in the fridge every day when you came back from the beach because they always refilled it. So yes, I love Red Stripe, and yes, I have been to Jamaica. Lots of fun stories from Jamaica as well, but we're not going to get into that here because that's not what this is about. Oh my god. Squadron Course, hot and dry here and always kind of dusty. I would love dry. I would love to live in Nevada. It would be better for my Camaro. Trust me, the humidity here and the winters, it's not good for cars. Rust is the cancer of cars, and everything here contributes to rust. I would love to have a car to be able to store my Camaro in Nevada, where it's just dry. I don't have to worry about rust. Gene says, God, do I miss the 20 plus episode seasons of traditional TV. If we still had seasons that long, we'd have a whole lot more track. Video awesome. If he looked at things sideways, he would probably make better quality stuff. It's funny. Fleetpot, that is the one thing I like about having to have bought a new car. I have aircon again. Only use it to cool down the car when I first get in. Oh, fuck no, I keep it blasting the whole fucking time. I don't care if it burns gas. I don't give a flying fuck. I know gas prices are ridiculous, but I like to be cold. I like to get out of the car and have my glasses fog up because I've had the fucking air conditioner blowing up my face. Derek says, Strange New World is the best new Star Trek. Do you think they will learn from this and pass it on to the rest of their shows? Yes, they'd better. Jedek says, I like the cold. I don't mind the cold either. I'm not a huge fan of cold, honestly. I like cool. I like the fall here. Winter is too cold. Trust me. That's the other thing. You get down to like, well, minus 28 degrees Celsius. Like, fuck, man. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. And the cold isn't the biggest issue for me. It's the fucking snow that you have to shovel repeatedly. So, Derek, they're going to have to acknowledge the superiority of Strange New Worlds. Maybe even Disco could switch its gears and be better as a result. Yeah, but they probably won't. Zachary Gibbons, I live in Florida. You can send us snow anytime. You say that, but if you got the snow we got, you wouldn't be fucking happy. Fleetpaw, I will second that you don't want the snow. Snow sucks. It's heavy and wet and can cause back injuries when you shovel it. That's why I drive an all-wheel drive car. I don't need to worry about your shovel. I thought you were going somewhere else with that, Fleetpaw. I was like, I don't like snow. It's heavy and wet and irritating, and it gets everywhere. From Minnesota, I know about the snow and the humid heat, and my brother-in-law is from Windsor. Windsor, it's like an hour away. Sweet. Chaddock Productions, the tropics are a killer for cars too. Yes, they are. Very humid again. Lots of moisture in the air. BJ says, snow is better than the giant snakes of Florida. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. Sonic Fan says, imagine if in the future we get cars driving themselves. Yes, the future. I already have that. Let the storm rage on the cold. Let the storm rage on. The cold doesn't bother him anymore. Anyway. Joseph Cole, do you hang out at Lake Erie often? No, I don't. Fleetpaw, I'll take the giant snakes. Snake skin is useful and makes great boots. Cheddar Productions, minus 28 degrees Celsius. That's brass monkey territory. Fuck yeah. Brass monkey territory. I don't know. It gets colder than that too. Like, we've been a lot colder than that. But that's kind of like the average for a cold winter here. But it can get colder than that. I just haven't thought about winter temperatures for a while, so I'm just trying to recall what the lowest is. Anyway, Alyssa Jericho, it's a shame we never saw the exterior of the Enterprise during the story. That could have been a lot of fun, making the ship look medieval. Jeff Sturm says, would love to see what Lower Decks does with Strange New Worlds references. War God 6, it's the wind chill that gets me down here in Windsor. Only upside to climate change is, though, when we do get the snow, we don't get it that often. Just get dumped on when we do. Yeah, that's true. And yes, wind chill factor is fucking brutal. That's like the humidex. It's the humidity. You know, it's 30 degrees outside, but it feels like 40 degrees. The wind chill is like, it's minus 28 degrees, but it feels like minus 40 degrees. Fuck me, that's cold. Wait, so Snow is my ex-wife? Sure. If she's cold, wet, and irritating. I'm just going to not touch that. Joseph says, move to Nevada, live in Las Vegas. If you miss the snow, you can just go to Mount Charleston, 15 minutes away. Exactly, yes. Plus, it still gets cold in Nevada. It still gets cold in Vegas. You still have to wear a coat sometimes, but you don't get the snow. It's fucking great. It's a good compromise. Gene Owoski Jr., what was that episode called, and in what season was it of Doctor Who? I don't know if you're asking me, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Dwayne says it's Haboob season in Phoenix. Haboob season? Is there a joke there? I don't get it if there is. The Doctor, y'all can keep the tropical hot sea level places. I'll take the high ground. Like Bill Hicks said, where we have coasts, scarves, cappuccinos, and rosy-cheeked women, all for sale up here. Nice. General Grievous, you don't want Las Vegas. It gets over 119 degrees in the summer. Dude, we get that here. You have a dry heat. We get that with humidity. So yes, I do want that. 100%. Don't tell me what I want and what I don't want. I'm not stupid. I know that you guys get hot temperatures. But I have air conditioning in my house. I would there too. I have air conditioning in my car. I would there too. Yes, there's the Falcon with the warp nacelles that somebody was talking about earlier. Yeah, General Gears, don't tell me what I want. I know what I want. You don't want the humidity. It's not the heat, it's the humidity. You've heard that saying. It's fucking 1,000% true. I think a lot of towns and cities up near where you live have similar names to where I live in Connecticut. There's a Windsor, Connecticut, and a New London, Connecticut. Yeah. Winter is around the corner in a few months, and it's back to shoveling. Shut up, man. What the fuck? Why you gotta do that shit? Shut up. Haboobs are really big dust storms. Oh, okay, well, cool. Not cool. Probably shitty. Fleet Paw, I think we've seen minus 30 degrees Celsius in the 13 years I've been in New York. That's fuck this shit, light my ass on fire temperature territory. Right? Yes, it is. Try San Diego. It's a little bit more habitable than where I live. Gene says, only one thing worse than Michael Burnham being Michael Burnham. That's Michael Burnham with black lipstick. Does not work. I know what the captain wants. Tilly and Una to himself. I can't stand Una. I don't think she's attractive at all. I'll take Tilly and Chapel. Tilly and Chapel to myself. You got a deal. Vegas does snow 1 day per year. Yeah, and it doesn't stick around. So yes, I'm fine with that. And it's a light dusting. Oh, it snowed. Oh my God, we can't drive. We're all over the road. Fuck you guys. You get this much snow, you freak the fuck out. We get like this much in an hour. Like, fuck. Don't even start with me. Don't even start with me. Don't challenge me to a snow off, motherfucker. Mark Lawrence, $5. Cap was handling the heat in Vegas just fine at Star Trek OV 2019. Hell yeah, I was. No humidity. It was fucking great. Walked outside, it felt like an oven, but it's like, it's hot, but it's fucking livable. Come up here with that same temperature and the humidity, you're like, oh my God, I'm dripping in sweat. I can hardly breathe because the air is so fucking thick. And that year was hot too, Mark. I remember that. There were some fucking hot days. Yeah. Gene says, has anyone seen Beavis and Butthead do The Universe? I have to admit I enjoyed it. I have not even heard of it. Jeff Sturm, I know what you want. You want a Constitution-class ship. And what you really want for Starfleet to build the Foley class. That too. Today, the hot and humid in my area. Cool. BJ says, this live has gone from boobs to snow. Yes, yes. Jaddock Productions sold. Just transfer 100 million GoPro slot onto my account. Sure. Send me your account information. Yeah, folks, don't piss us Canadians off about snow in the cold. Speaking of the weather, 63 degrees and fair in Western... I don't know, 63 degrees sounds fucking scorchingly fucking hot. Oh, you don't mean Celsius. You mean whatever the fuck you Americans say. Fuck your... Fahrenheit is just fucking wrong. Just for the record. Anyway, now that I've insulted everybody. But Vegas is almost out of water and be super close to being short of electricity due to water shutting down. Yeah, okay. Now that I live in Reno, I do know snow. Vegas was great. Don't want to challenge me to a snow off either, lol, but I think London gets a mite more snow than I do. I think we had one storm where it dropped nearly 2 meters. Yeah, we had one year was called Snowmageddon because within like a 24-hour period it dropped like 5-6 feet of snow. Like it was fucking brutal. It killed the city. The city shut down. Everything was fucking closed. Nobody could get anywhere. It took the plows forever to manage it. So yeah. Unfortunately for seasons 5 of Discovery, I'm sure we'll still have the touchy-feely dialogue that belongs on a CW show. Toblerone won't be made in Switzerland anymore. Oh my god, no. Don't the Yanks call them freedom units? Yes, they do. The doctor, yeah, we need to go metric. I grew up here in the US and they kept telling us when I was in school that we'd eventually go metric, so they taught it to. It's a much more logical system. Hell yeah. 0 freezes water, 100 boils water. Simple. I don't know what the boiling point of fucking water is in Fahrenheit. I don't know what the freezing point of water is in Fahrenheit. All I know is that at minus 40, everything's the same. So your minus 40 is exactly the same as our minus 40. And that makes no fucking goddamn sense to me. So, and on that note, we're not talking about the episode anymore, so it was great. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to call it quits there, though. Thank you to everyone that super chatted. This has been a fantastic live. Hit that like button if you haven't already hit it. We're at 70 likes, which is damn good, but I think we can do better. If you're watching this after the fact, make sure you hit that like button. And don't forget there are super thanks available, which is like a super chat, but not for a live. So there you go. Tomorrow in the afternoon is our edited review. Yes, tomorrow in the afternoon is our edited review, which is a very good one, I have to say. So, yay, go check it out. And then tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing our full review and breakdown of this episode. And that should be a fun one, so please join us. Squadra Course snipes in with $1 super chat to get that last super chat slot. Squadra Course, you're killing it with the last super chat slots. I'm going to have to give you a plaque or something at some point because you've won so many of them. But thank you guys. You all are awesome. And until next time, I'm Captain Foley. She's Ensign Pug. Which I gotta show you because she's like whining. She knows I'm saying goodbye, which means it's the end of the live. So everybody, see you later. I'm Captain Foley. See? She's Ensign Pug. And we both love you because you're awesome. It looks like General Grievous sniped it. Oh, just out of spite. Out of Squadra Course's hands, so the Squadra Course don't get no trophy. Motherfucker. And on that note, see you later, guys. Have a good one.